Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I am bringing you guys a combo video on how to play a Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon deck. So I did a deck profile on this about a week ago, so if you guys want to check that out, I will leave a link down in the description below. But this was requested by someone on the channel literally like an hour ago. I've been planning on doing this video for a while, but yeah, literally, if you guys ever have a video that you really want me to make or whatever, all it takes is a quick request and I can definitely upload it, depending on what I have for time. And I had a spare bit of time to do this tonight, so I really wanted to get this combo video out to you guys. Basically, the three parts that we're going to be going over are hopefully how we can go into all three of our means on how to get out a zero defense monster to our opponent's side of the field. So these are our three sort of ways to do that. And then our win condition is obviously the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. So we have the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, which if it's summoned with your Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can then, when this card attacks, change all of your opponent's monsters to defense and then change their attack and defense to 0/0, which is really awesome. So then that means that you can attack into basically whatever you want, even if it's one of your opponent's link monsters, which can't get changed to defense. But then you're able to attack, if you have Chaos Max Dragon out, you can attack for that double piercing damage, which will obviously equal lethal damage unless your opponent is higher than 8,000 life points. Then we have our Sheehan Spy, which would basically allow you to just transfer a Drytron monster over to your opponent so you can bash into it. We play 2 copies of it in the deck because it does get really bricky and just can really wreck a hand if you do end up drawing into multiples of it. And it's obviously not our only win condition, so you only need to play like 2 copies in the deck. If you see it, awesome. If you don't, it's really not a big deal because Geonator Transverser is actually our easiest way to do it. As long as your opponent goes into one of the zones that is diagonally across from the extra monster zone, so you are able to then swap one of your Drytron monsters over, just like if you were using Sheehan Spy. So that's just sort of the quick rundown in case you guys missed how to actually play this deck, or if you sort of forgot a few things that I mentioned in the deck profile. But these are basically our 3 win conditions that we're going for. I want to try to sort of go over how you can do all of them. So Geonator Transverser is definitely my favorite way to do it, and it is easily our best card in the extra deck, but we do have a lot of other strategies. So basically for these combos, we're going to try to just go over, you know, sort of the general setup for how your turns go and whatnot. So I will get the deck shuffled and we will do a couple of test hands. So we'll see, maybe we'll do, hopefully we can get 3 all in here as long as the video is not getting too long. Okay, so I got the deck pretty well shuffled up here. So just to start off here, we will pick up, so we are technically planning on going second with this. Ooh, this is looking kind of ugly, but, you know, not to worry, not to worry. I think we're going to pick up 6 cards for our opening hand just because we are planning on going second with this basically every single time. If our opponent does make us go first, I just want to go over this really super duper quick. We do have other plays with like our Lyrilisc Assembled Nightingale and number 38 Hope Harbinger, and there's a little bit of other stuff like Link Karibo. Those are just, and then like IP Masquerena to like link on your opponent's turn. So there are a few ways that we have set up in the extra deck to sort of like make some plays on our opponent's turn if they make us go first. But this is a very doable hand. We already have our Advanced Ritual Art, which is actually our most crucial of the ritual spells. And then we have Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, which is nice just for swapping our opponent's monsters into defense. So I think with this combo here, we're going to try to just go with the Blue Eyes Chaos. We're going to go under the premise that our opponent has some sort of a monster in, you know, on the field. So I just did my my virtual world deck profile. So just for instance, we will say that our opponent has like they for some reason they have a Constellar play to me over there. So at some point we are going to try to switch it to defense mode and do some shenanigans with it. To start off, let's activate our Cyber Emergency. This is probably your best one to start off with this particular hand, because if this card gets negated, we can discard one card and then add it back to our hand, which is really cool. So we're just kind of going to go under the assumption that our opponent doesn't have any disruption. So since we already have the Alpha, that is our main card that we want. And then we also already have the Advanced Ritual Art. So really, we don't even need to pick up our Zeta. Zeta is really nice, but I think we're just going to pick up our Delta, because if we get lucky off of the Delta, then we can possibly draw into like a trade-in, and then we can pitch a few of these Blue Eyes. Or even if we just draw into like a Blue Eyes alternative or something, that's going to be really, really nice as well. So with this, we will take our Alpha and we will discard the Delta to the graveyard in order to search and add a ritual monster from our deck to our hands. So we will obviously be picking up our Cyber Angel Benten. Benten is like the most crucial, just to sort of get a really simple +1, especially when your hand is already looking this good. So then for this, we would then want to tribute the Benten with our Zeta, so sending the Benten to graveyard. Then I believe we actually, the way that it would go is that we would draw first, or I think that we have the option to sort of work around that. So we will we'll pick up the Manju off of the Cyber Angel Benten, and then after that we will, with the Delta, we will be able to draw one card by like revealing a ritual spell in our hand, so that's totally fine. And we will draw one, and we pick up a Drytron Nova, which is really awesome. With the Nova, we can pick up probably our Gamma, or we can just pick up the Zeta. It doesn't matter. We'll use the Drytron Nova now. And so with that, with Nova, we can pick up again either our Gamma here or the Zeta. I think I'm actually, just to do a little bit of deck thinning, I think we're going to pick up the Zeta. So Zeta ends up getting special summoned onto the field. I haven't used a Nova. Yeah, no, I haven't used a Nova. So Zeta gets special summoned, and then with that, I would also like to normal summon the Manju. So again, also another thing that I forgot to mention is that with if your opponent makes you go first, Vanity's Ruler is also another amazing option to do on your opponent. So with the Manju, now we will definitely want to pick up our Chaos Dragon, just in case, if we can actually end up summoning him. And oh, actually, yes, we can. So my initial thought process here was that I was actually going to take these guys and do a little bit of link climbing. Like you could take this and, or actually this guy, go into Link Karibo. So these are just a couple options that you would have. Go into Link Karibo, and then you would be able to take a few of these guys and like go into Nightmare Cerberus, especially if your opponent had a monster actually in their main monster zone. I just put the Constellar Palladium right there just so you guys could see it on the screen here. But yeah, just to like do some stuff, and then you get to draw some extra cards off the deck when the nightmares resolve, and then you'd be able to like theoretically like take Manju and then like your Zeta and whatnot, and then go into like a Unicorn and then use Unicorn's effect. But instead of that, so we had a really nice simple draw engine right there. But instead of doing that stuff, I don't remember exactly, I think I had them in this order. What we will actually do is we will take the Zeta and we will link him off for a Link Karibo. I don't believe that we haven't used Link Karibo yet. So with that, Zeta hits the graveyard, and then we will use his effect to tribute our Alpha. Send Alpha to the graveyard, which will add us a ritual spell. And so then with the ritual spell, we will pick up our Meteonis Drytron, or also in this same instance, we could have just picked up our Chaos form. The only reason that I wanted to pick up the Meteonis Drytron is that it can actually get itself back into our hands. And so, yeah, this is actually going to be really, really sweet. So what we can do now is we will use our Advanced Ritual Art, which, since we have not yet we still have one Blue Eyes left in the deck, which is very lucky that we still have one in the deck that we can do this with, because we drew two. So if you draw all three, your Advanced Ritual Art is just absolutely useless. But we can now summon out our Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon with using Blue Eyes White Dragon as his ritual tribute. Then that means that he gets to do his changing to defense effect, and then we will activate our Meteonus Drytron, which will allow us to tribute these two Drytron monsters in order to summon out our Blue Eyes Chaos Max. And technically, with that, we still have like ways with like our Link Karibo and our Manju of 10,000 Hands, and we could go into like a Nightmare Cerberus and discard one of these Blue Eyes from our hand in order to get rid of an opponent's troublesome monster or something, anything that we would want to. But then also with that, we could then just proceed into our battle phase, and then we would use the Chaos Dragon to attack into one of our opponent's monsters, changing everything into defense. And then I hope I said his effect absolutely correct earlier. If he was ritual summoned with Blue Eyes White Dragon, when it declares an attack, change battle positions of as many monsters as possible that your opponent controls, and then change the attack and defense to 0. So that's really super duper awesome, because then we can change everything to defense, and then Chaos Dragon can attack into something and do piercing, and then Chaos Max could, for instance, attack into this Constellar Palladium and inflict 8,000 piercing damage. So that's going to do it for the first combo. So I'm really happy that we were able to show off the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. So yeah, totally perfect. Let's move on to combo number 2. All right, guys, getting another good shuffle here. I'm actually really happy with how that worked out. Obviously, it's a little bit different doing these kind of deck hand tests where you are playing like a going second deck. So like you're probably going to be playing through some disruption. But we had a little bit of a bricky hand because we had those 2 Blue Eyes in hand. And so basically with only using 4 cards in hand, we still were able to get a really awesome board out. So I think that that's kind of shows like what this deck can do on its feet. So that's really cool. Definitely liking how this hand is looking. Okay, now not so much. The second Fafnir is not quite so good. Ooh. And then for our 5th card, a Cyber Angel Izana. That's really not ideal. But then we have the Cyber Emergency. Really, this Izana is just in here for another draw target off of your Benten, and also a discard target for your trade-ins. So maybe we can still pick up a trade-in, but I kind of doubt it. So we will activate our Drytron Fafnir right away, obviously. That is going to allow us to pick up our Drytron Nova, and then we will just activate that in order to pick up, we'll pick up our Alpha and then special summon that to the field. So also for those of you guys who have seen like my Necroz deck profile, and I also did a little bit of a combo at the end of that, I sort of messed this up in the combo. I obviously know how it goes, but I got a little ahead of myself that I used the Fafnir in order to, I believe, like special summon the Alpha, and I forgot to pick up the Nova, or I believe it was a Zeta in the actual combo, but you guys know what I was going for there. So if you guys saw that video and you were a little confused, obviously that's what I was going for there, was pick up the Nova and then special summon the Zeta to the field. We'll then use our Cyber Emergency. I actually probably should have used Emergency earlier for like what I said in the last combo. And again, we already have our Advanced Ritual Art, and then also this Fafnir next turn would be able to search for either another Nova or our Meteonus Drytron. So I think we're going to leave the Zeta. I would really like to pick up a trade-in or something off of a Delta. So I think that that's what we're going to go with. So here we are going to then activate the effect of Delta in order to special summon him to the field, and we will tribute our Cyber Angel Benten. Then with the Benten hitting the graveyard, we will search for our Manju of 10,000 Hands, obviously. And so that will go into our hand, and then we will draw 1 card off of our Delta. Actually, I probably should have swapped these around. Should have done the Alpha first. I should have linked him off for... actually, yeah, let's just swap this around just so you guys get the actual best optimal way to play this combo. We would have linked this away and then tributed. From grave, we would have tributed the Benten for the Alpha. Yeah, that's definitely the cleaner way to play it. That way, and I'm just going to leave all of this in these kind of bloopers here, because then you guys can sort of see my thought process on what's the actual best way to play it, rather than me editing all this out. But then off of the alpha, we will search for our Chaos Max. That way, that just gets an extra search target out of our deck. That way we can hopefully pick up a, off of Delta, we can pick up just another really good like card for our draw engine, like our trade-in, or maybe we can pick up that Cheyenne Spy. So then we will normal summon our Manju, and then with the Manju, we will then search and pick up, how about, we'll probably just pick up a Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, just because that's really maybe our next best option. Actually, I think we'll pick up a Chaos form, just in case we end up actually picking up another card. So we will pick up the Chaos form there. That will just allow us to actually summon another Blue Eyes Chaos, or either a the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, not a Chaos Max, but another Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. So we'll see what we can get off of that later. So now we will actually take the Delta, and we will tribute the Alpha in order to summon it onto the field. And then off of the Delta, we can reveal the Chaos form that we just added in order to draw a card. Oh no, and then we pick up another copy of Drytron Fafnir. Okay, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So for this instance, we are going to just say that hopefully our opponent has a monster. We're going to say either in this zone across. I will just zoom out a little teeny bit here. So again, we will just sort of use this Constellar Palladium here for an example. And so hopefully with this monster over here, and then we summoned the Delta over here, or if we were working with this, then we would just roll with it that way. Then we take the Link Karibo and the Manju, and then link those away in order to summon our Geonator Transverser. Then with that, we just take the Transverser and the Delta, and we swap spots. We can actually put the Palladium wherever we want, and the Delta wherever we want, but we'll just say, for instance, to put the Delta there. Then we can activate our Advanced Ritual Art, which will allow us to summon out our Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and then we just proceed to battle phase. And then with our opponents having the Delta on the field, then we just swing into it, and we do that double piercing 4,000 damage, which then, since it's double piercing, turns into 8,000 damage. So yeah, with the Geonator Transverser, that is like your simplest, easiest way to do that. So now we will do one final hand test, and then for that I will just add the Cheyenne Spy right to the hand, and then we will move on from there. Cool. And again, while I'm cleaning up here, I just want to show you guys that we were able to use all of these cards off of like 2 cards, basically our Cyber Emergency and our Drytron Nova, or technically our Drytron Fafnir, got us into all of this here, and then these 4 cards basically did us nothing, or actually no, we also had the Cyber Angel Benten, and then we added the like Fafnir and the Chaos form and stuff into our hand. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. Like overall, like these 4 cards here got us into all of this, and these 4 cards here really still just did us nothing. We bricked a little bit, but yeah, this deck can still do plenty on just a few cards. Okay, so for this combo, with the possibility that we pick up our Cheyenne Spy and our opponent, you know, doesn't have a monster over there, and we don't have enough combo pieces to go into the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, and we can only get out like a Chaos Max, then we really depend on picking up that Cheyenne Spy. So with that, we will see what we can do. So we will, we already have this in our hand, and we will pick up another 5 cards. And nice, we picked up a trade-in. Ooh, that is all spell cards, but that is a really awesome hand. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I actually would want to play these. I think overall the easiest decision is with the Cyber Emergency, like I've explained before. Emergency is just your best card to start off with, because if your opponent negates it, then that means that you can just discard a card and then reactivate it, which is super duper cool. So we will activate the Cyber Emergency, and off of that we will search and add an Alpha to hand. Then we can activate our Drytron Nova, which would then special summon a monster to the field. And we finally did not pick up our ritual spell, so I think off of the Zeta here, we will actually, we'll summon the Zeta onto the field, and we will get him since we actually need to search for our ritual spell. So then with that, we would then just want to, just another card that we can search off. We'll activate our Fafnir, and with the Fafnir, we can search for our, where is it? We don't want Chaos form exactly. We want the Advanced Ritual, I am getting way ahead of myself. We need to search for our our Drytron ritual spell. So we will pick up the Meteonus Drytron there just to get that into our hand. And then with that, we can actually activate the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. And then we will discard the Meteonus Drytron, because that is just like one of our simplest, easiest ways to like pitch that to the graveyard. And then we can easily get it back to our hand. So with that, we have ways to actually search for our Chaos Max. So what I would like to do is I'm going to search for a Blue Eyes and a Blue Eyes alternative. I think that sounds nice just for a simple extender. And then we have the trade-in, which is super duper good because we can then discard off of the Blue Eyes, but we will get to that in a second. We will then tribute the Zeta for our Alpha, and then Alpha will pick up our Cyber Angel Benten wherever she is sitting, and then with the Benten in hand, then we can tribute her off of the Zeta, which, oh wait, actually I forgot one step back here a second ago, is that we would have actually, before we tributed the Zeta, what we would have wanted to do is add the Meteonus Drytron into hand, so you would actually reduce the attack of that by 1,000, and then add the Meteonus Drytron, and then you tribute it for the Alpha. Alpha would then search for this, and then by the time Zeta tributes and Zeta hits the field, then his attack is already reset, and now you have two 2,000 attack monsters. So I'm sure someone was sitting in the comment section screaming at their computer, ready to, lay down some knowledge in the comment section, but I beat you to the punch. So here we go. Now we will activate the effect of Benten, which will add the Manju to hand, and then with the Zeta, we can finally add that Advanced Ritual Art. So now we have the Ritual Spell, we have the Xian Spy, and now we have a way to actually hopefully pick up our we have the Manju, which we will normal summon, and then Manju will add our Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, just for some insurance that we know that we have it. The Meteonus Drytron, I don't think that that's really going to be doing anything. So then with this, we will reveal the Blue Eyes in hand for the alternative. So with alternative, we will summon it to the field. Also, one other thing that I would probably just like to swap is that I like to put the Drytron monsters in these two zones here, because if you get out the Geonade Transverser, this is how she transfers the monsters over, but I didn't do that because we're not really focusing on that right now. So we have the alternative summoned onto the field. We will then be able to pop one of our opponent's monsters. Then this can't attack, but that's totally fine because we can just use it for Link or XZ fodder, which is really, really nice. We'll then activate the trade-in in order to discard the Blue Eyes, and then hopefully we can pick up two nice draws here. Okay, so we got the Blue Eyes and then another Alpha. So the Alpha really doesn't help us at all unless we wanted to. We could still discard an Alpha or tribute off for a Meteonus Drytron, but we don't have anything else to tribute really. The next move that we would probably want to do then is that we could still summon out like a Benten off of our Meteonus Drytron, but we don't really have anything to tribute. If we did, let's say that this Alpha was instead a like a Gamma or even a Delta. Delta would probably be best. So let's say that this was a Delta, then we would use the Drytron in order to tribute Zeta, bring Angel out onto the field, tribute her for a Delta, then Benton would be able to search again, and then Delta would get us a draw, which would be really nice. But for this instance, obviously we did not draw the Delta. I just wanted to kind of go over that for just another explanation on how that effect can work. So with this, we would then do any other link plays that we would want to do first. These cards really don't matter to us, except for one of the Drytron monsters we want to keep. But yeah, we'd be able to go for whatever link plays we would want to. Obviously, like I said, this alternative dragon is pretty much useless to us, so we'll just link that away to sort of clear up the board. Activate advanced ritual art in order to send our copy of Blue Eyes into the graveyard. Then that will allow us to special summon the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon onto the field. We then activate our Sheehan Spy in order to send our Drytron monster over to our opponent's side of the field. And then once again, we smash into our opponent for that beautiful, perfect 8,000 damage. Guys, thank you so much for watching this combo video. I hope it didn't run too long. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of how the deck works and sort of its ins and outs. What are your combo plays? What are your strategies? What to do, what not to do? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video if you guys enjoyed what you saw here today, and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. So I'll see you guys for more combo videos and deck profiles in the future. Again, if you guys haven't seen the deck profile on this, check it out in the description down below. And again, this was a request video sent by one of the subscribers on the channel just a few hours ago. If you guys ever want to see a video on the channel, feel free to ask. I can't promise that I'll deliver every single time, but I promise I always read your guys' comments. And so if you guys ever have any concerns or questions or want to see a video, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys there. Peace.